This is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and today we're taking a look at the Motorola Devour Android smartphone that will be available on Verizon starting February 25th, and it'll sell for $99. This is the low-budget brother to the Motorola Droid, also on Verizon, and we'll compare it to that phone first. But despite the fact that it's lower budget, it's still a very well-made phone with a good set of features. Here it is next to the Droid. Similar in size. The Droid's a little bit more, I don't know, understated, cool, metal, black looking, whereas this is industrial silver. The thickness is similar. The Droid is thinner. They both have the same slide-out style keyboard. And here's the back view. This obviously has a much smaller camera lens. This is a 3 megapixel lens, whereas this one's a 5 megapixel. And we'll open them up and take a look. And here we have them side by side, obviously sharing DNA. Take another look around the device. We have these touch-sensitive buttons over here. You have to press them pretty firmly to get them to do what you want. So you can see here it's running the Moto Blur desktop software for Android. We'll talk about that a bit soon. So this is an optical touch sensor. It's not the greatest thing to use, honestly. It's not very controllable. Would have preferred a little mechanical D-pad there. Not that you need that much, because you can use your finger for everything on the capacitive 3.1-inch display. It's got an interesting industrial design here, mostly silver. We've got the big old rubberized speaker grill over here. And on this end we have the very prominent 3.5 millimeter stereo headphone jack. That's the power button up top. Micro USB connector here, very rubbery, grippable surface here with the stippling to help you keep it in hand. Volume buttons right here, voice command, it's nuance, and the camera launching button. We'll open it up and you can see the keyboard here. We'll do a close-up of that. So it's a full QWERTY keyboard here. The keys are matte finish, so they're good. You don't lose grip on them, but like the Droid, they're very low travel. But they're a heck of a lot better than nothing. So here you see the Moto Blur desktop interface, which is pretty busy. You can choose which things you have up here. We've got Facebook running, I've got Twitter going, email messages. Plus we've got a weather widget over here, and of course desktop icons. You can put whatever you want here. You can scroll to different desktops. There's the usual Google search bar with voice search enabled. News widget. And there's a little indicator here that tells you which of the screens you're on. As you can see up here. So there are 5 screens that you can use to put all these widgets on. This runs Android 1.6 Donut with Moto Blur on top. The word is this runs on a 600 megahertz processor. It's the same as the Palm Pixies. It's a Qualcomm. And it's fairly responsive. I wouldn't say it feels quite as fast as the Droid, but it's pretty fast for moving around the user interface. Comes with VZ Navigator. It has the usual Android WebKit-based web browser, which is an excellent web browser, and it adds Flash 9 support via Flash Lite, which does work with the web browser. Of course, you've got Google Maps on here as well, and all the other usual Google goodies. Take a look at Google Maps real quick. It's still running in the background, so it's quite fast to launch. There is no pinch and zoom here, so you're going to have to use these controls. And you have latitude on here, and you've got layers for traffic satellite and latitude. Take a quick look at VZ Navigator. Verizon subscription, turn-by-turn spoken directions navigation service. As you can see, it's got an interface that shows you the cheapest gas nearby, the weather in your area, cycles through these things, what movies are playing. It's pretty cool and useful. The navigation itself was a little bit behind, we found sometimes when we were driving. If we went off route, it took about 30 seconds before it realized that we had gone off route. Other programs this comes with are Quick Office, reviewing office documents, Media Share. It's got VCast music. Take a look at that real quick. With Rhapsody. So here's a VCast application, which looks pretty much like you've seen on every other Verizon phone. You can look at what's new, what's hot, download songs, and it actually runs in landscape mode as well, which is handy if you want to actually search for something in VCast. The phone also has VCast video, but the service isn't yet available because the phone hasn't been released, so we can't show you that yet. We've got the usual YouTube player for Android phones here, voice search. We'll take a quick look at YouTube over Verizon's eVideo network. And we'll just pick something. So here we are watching a YouTube video in high quality over Verizon's eVideo Rev A service. So that looks pretty good. The phone has pretty good voice quality, typical of Motorola, very good DSP for background noise reduction, clear voice. Reception is strong as per usual for Motorola. And as I said, we have Nuance voice command on board. You've also got Google Voice Search built in. And the usual Gmail, email, and the like. So you can see here inside of messaging in the email, you've got integration with Facebook and Twitter, along with your text messaging. If you want to add more accounts inside of the email application, this is all courtesy of MotoBlur. All this integration that you're seeing here, you can add MySpace. Facebook we already have. You can add Google Gmail, obviously. That's what you're going to do with an Android phone. Last.fm, Twitter, regular email account, corporate sync for Exchange, Picasa Photo Bucket, and Yahoo. So good email support. So that's the Motorola Devour for Verizon. Be available at the end of February for $99. Visit mobiletechreview.com for the full review.